Monitors in Select are your new guardrail for Snowflake spend. With proactive alerts to Slack, Teams, or email, monitors will ensure you are never caught off guard. Let's have a look. In the sidebar, click Monitors, then Create Monitor. Here you can see we have nearly 24 templates broken up into categories that align with the screens you typically use in Select. Using custom SQL monitors, you can monitor anything in your Snowflake account. You can create a monitor from scratch by clicking Continue Without Template, or you can start with a template and edit it. Let's start with Warehouse Spend Monitor, with the goal of changing it to monitor core text function spend for specific warehouses and usage groups. In Section 1 of the Monitor template, let's leave the data source as is. But it's important to note that we can completely diverge from the template by choosing any of these other data sources. Please spend some time getting to know what options are here. In Section 2, I want to filter by usage group, as I'm really interested to see how much the data engineering team is spending on Cortex. So then I also need to change the metric to Cortex spend. You can see the preview on the right is already starting to update. Maybe the bottom half of the table doesn't make sense yet, but we'll fix that later. In Section 3, we'll need to choose a trigger type of when the monitor should produce an alert. Scheduled reports send every time your schedule is triggered, whether or not the data has changed since last time. Results found will only send if results are found. A threshold monitor will only trigger if the value in the data goes above a threshold that you set. Anomaly monitors will only trigger the alert if the most recent value is an anomaly compared to historical patterns. We can filter the alerts using a threshold, and we can adjust the sensitivity using the slider. Increasing the sensitivity will produce more alerts. In Section 4, we can set a team if we want to. Then the next step is to choose a destination. If you already have a Slack or Teams integration set up with Select, you can choose from a list of destinations, which would be channels. If you don't already have an integration set up, you can click the Slack or Teams icon below, and that will walk you through a setup process. Our documentation has a detailed guide on how to set up these integrations, so just refer to our docs for more information here. I'm going to choose this Test Monitors destination and continue on. I want the monitor to check for anomalies every day, so I'll leave the frequency as daily. In this next section, we have to choose between sending the monitor results every time it is triggered, so daily in this case. Of course, it's an anomaly monitor, so it'll only send daily if there is an anomaly. There's another option here for once per status change, which is saying if you go above a threshold, it won't send multiple times until the data dips below that threshold again and it resets. The next thing I'll do is I'll give the monitor a better title. This is what's going to show up in the header section of the Slack message or the email or the Teams message. This is also what your monitor is going to save as when you're looking at your list of monitors later. I can also update the title of my chart. Next, I'll need to update the data in the table output in the bottom of the preview. Let's remove some of the irrelevant measures, add in the Cortex measure, and ensure our query results are sorted by Cortex spend descending. I also want my data grouped by just warehouse to keep everything nice and simple, so let's take care of that as well. Finally, let's send a test message to make sure the monitor shows up in our destination. Everything is working, so let's go ahead and hit save. By clicking save, it will bring you back to the main monitors page where you can find all existing monitors in your account. Here we can see info about each monitor, including the status, run history, and a lot more columns. You can filter this table by using the standard filters in Select. So here I can search for monitors by name. To get more info on a specific monitor, hit the side peek button. To edit that monitor, you can click the View Monitor button from the side drawer, or you can click the monitor name on the main monitors page. The recent runs are shown on the Overview tab in the bottom half of the screen. We do have a Run History tab, which will show all historical runs of the monitor, but I want to focus on editing the monitor, so let's click the Configuration tab. And here you can just make any edits that you need to make to your monitor and save. That's it. This is an overview of how to use monitors in Select. We really hope that you love using this feature, and we're really excited to hear what feedback you have.